Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today is a good day to be a Hunger Games fan. If you remember, a couple of months ago in June, we got an announcement about not only a new Hunger Games book, but a new Hunger Games movie coming out the year after the book was published. It was insane. Suffice it to say, as someone who thought that the Hunger Games craze had ended back in 2016,
I'm Peter and I know it.
this was very exciting, especially since in that initial announcement in June, we already got a title and a release date. The title is set to be Sunrise on the Reaping, and the release date is going to be March 18th, 2025, so mark your calendars. And as I said, that's not the only announcement that we got in June. They also confirmed that they were going to be making The Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping, the movie, and that it was going to come out on November 20th, 2026. So just a year and 7 months after the book officially comes out. It's insane. Back in June, what we also already knew is that this new Hunger Games movie or story was going to follow the Hunger Games that Haymitch survived. And with Haymitch being a fan favorite, this idea revolutionized the fandom. Because even though we knew the outline of what happened during those games, we didn't know it from his perspective. And today we finally have an official cover and an official synopsis. Let's take a look at that. I'm pretty sure it's not going to match my UK covers, but a girl can dream. I think I'm going to cry during this book. I'm actually sure that I will. And I don't cry with books. Sunrise on the Reaping, set to publish in March 2025, takes place 24 years before the events of The Hunger Games. Sunrise on the Reaping is set during the second quarter quell, the 50th annual Hunger Games, a fight to the death involving children from the country's districts for the entertainment of its capital's citizens as a reminder of the past failed rebellion. The book starts the morning of the reaping, or the ceremony in which children from each district are picked to compete in the games. Typically, 2 children, 1 boy and 1 girl, are reaped from each district, but every 25 years, a special version of the games known as Quarter Quell introduces a new twist. For the second Quarter Quell, there are twice as many children reaped and 48 kids are sent into the arena, which is pretty horrific. And if you remember, the second book, Catching Fire, follows the 75th annual Hunger Games, which happens to be the third Quarter Quell, and in that one they decide that they are going to be pulling from a pool of the previous victors. That means that in District 12 there's only Katniss as the female victor, and that they have to pick a name out of Haymitch or Peeta to go into the games, which is pretty brutal. When Sunrise on the Reaping was announced in June, Collins said in a statement she was inspired by philosopher David Hume's implicit submission, or, in his words, the easiness with which the many are governed by the few. The story also lent itself to a deeper dive into the use of propaganda and the power of those who control the narrative. The question, real or not real, seems more pressing to me every day, she said, referring to a key quote from Mockingjay, the third book in the original Hunger Games trilogy. Sunrise on the Reaping is Collins' second Hunger Games prequel novel. Okay, so here's the synopsis. As the day dawns on the 50th annual Hunger Games, fear grips the district of Panem. This year, in honor of the Quarter Quell, twice as many tributes will be taken from their home. Back in District 12, Haymitch is trying not to think too hard about his chances. All he cares about is making it through the day and being with the girl he loves. It's not looking good for me not crying during this book. When Haymitch's name is called, he can feel all his break. He's torn from his family and his love, shuttled to the capital with the 3 other District 12 tributes, a young friend who's nearly a sister to him, a compulsive odds maker, and the most stuck-up girl in town. That's not going to be like a romantic relationship, right? I already feel the shippers creeping in. That character dynamic with a stuck-up girl and the guy who doesn't like her, I'm scared. Let me know. Is that a thing? I don't remember. As the games begin, Haymitch understands he's been set up to fail, but there's something in him that wants to fight and have that fight reverberate far beyond the deadly arena. Incredible. The book hasn't even come out yet and it already has a whopping 4.82 stars and 881 reviews. Rachel Segler, who played the lead role in the Songbirds and Snakes movie version, took a victory lap on Twitter, resurfacing her own tweets pleading for a Haymitch-centric prequel. Girls don't want boys, girls want Suzanne Collins to release a Haymitch origin trilogy. I don't think we're getting an origin trilogy, but we're definitely getting an origin story. Fun fact for all you cinema lovers out there, this film is also being produced and created by Lionsgate, and apparently it is coming out the week before Wicked Part 2 comes out in 2026. It's gonna be one hell of a month. But let's take a look at the cover. This is the original cover that we saw back in June when the book was first announced. Obviously, it's very simplistic, it's a placeholder, but this is what we have now. Pretty cool, if I do say so myself. It just has the title in big block letters. Not too dissimilar from the letters in my own cover. So as per usual, the background is pretty simplistic. They have an ombre thing going on. One of them is black, the other one is purple, which immediately makes me think of royalty. And there's also like a crown design there in the middle. Is that supposed to symbolize the cornucopia, the capital? And then we have what looks to be like a songbird and a snake. So is that symbolism for something inside this book, or is that a reference to the book, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? I distinctly remember birds having great significance in this Quarter Quell and in the Hunger Games for Haymitch, because a death is related to them and it was pretty gnarly, but I don't remember what snakes have to do with it. It also kind of looks like a lyre, or that instrument that Apollo plays. The two animals look like the two handles, and then the crown or the spikes could look like the strings. So overall, with the gold and with the purple, it's definitely giving Roman vibes. It also has like a circle behind them with different sectors, so that might be alluding to how the game is presented. It's usually a circular arena, but this might also be a reference to Catching Fire, where the arena, tick-tock, it's a clock.
Tick-tock. 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 It's a clock. It's a clock.
There's also something to be said about the fact that the serpent and the bird are just one animal. The serpent is the bird's tail, and they're not fighting. They're looking at each other, but both of their mouths, like the beak and the mouth, are open. What does it mean? Let me know, what do you think it means? Because I feel like there's a lot of symbolism in this cover. But the capital and the Hunger Games in general has always given Roman vibes, fits quite nicely into that aesthetic.
I don't know how I completely missed this, but it says that the cover shows an image of a serpent linked with a songbird, so that's confirmed, and the spiky sun rises on a symbol that will come to mean a lot to Haymitch Abernathy, as well as countless readers. Tim O'Brien has created yet another iconic Hunger Games cover, this one symbolically exploring one of the central themes of the series, how conflicting forces can be connected by their common nature, the songbird and the snake springing from the same source.
People are already saying that they want more installment from the Hunger Games. They want things like seeing Finnick or Joanna or all of the other people that we meet and getting to see their specific games. Someone else says, I want to see a games where we don't know who the winner is. Make it a true ensemble piece. That would be so tragic. God, I want a Joanna book so bad. This one is going to hit different given the current political climate. I hope it does. I hope she's accounted for it. I think that's specifically why she's written it, because she said that she wasn't going to write another Hunger Games book unless she felt like she had something to say. And now she definitely has something to say. And now the question on everyone's mind is, I wonder who is going to get the role. The dude who played Haymitch in the original trilogy cannot get the role given that this takes place 26 years in the past. 24 years in the past, I guess. Will it be kind of like the first Wonder Woman film where it starts in current day and then Bruce goes to talk to Diana and shows her the picture and she's like, oh, let me just give you like an hour and a half long flashback, and then it's Haymitch just remembering his games? I'd rather that not happen. Or maybe, this would be insane, maybe it's the scene in the books in Catching Fire when Katniss and Peeta find the tape for those Hunger Games and they just watch it while on the train, you know, doing press tours. That would be so funny. Getting the original cast for Peeta and Katniss, make it like a Princess Bride kind of thing. No, that's super disrespectful, but can you imagine them just like chilling, watching those Hunger Games, and it just cuts back and forth from first person POV, from Haymitch just like suffering these games, back to Peeta and Katniss in reality or in the current timeline, just like this, watching that. Suzanne Collins, you've probably already written the whole book, so this is irrelevant, but do not follow that line of thought. That would be a good parody, but not a good book. All that being said, I'm really excited to read it. We mostly knew what it was going to be about, but it's nice to see it confirmed, and now I'm really looking forward to both reading it and watching it. I'm gonna try to make my book club read it with me, but my friend McKenna is obsessed with the Hunger Games, all things Hunger Games related, so I'm sure I'm not even gonna have to even convince her. She's She's already right there with me. Leave a like if you are excited to get this book in just a couple of months. Oh my god, it's under 5 months now. And comment down below what you think the symbolism is on the cover, and if you think Haymitch is going to have like at least a fleeting romance or a situationship with anyone inside the games. I hope not, but it would be interesting to see. Subscribe if you haven't already and click that bell button to get notifications every time I post. I keep you guys updated on any fandom related news, so be sure to follow. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!